Hello, everyone. Welcome back to When Shooting's Life podcast, episode 12. I'm your host, Kue Lee, with my co-host, Christian Khang. Since it's hunting season, we want to focus a little bit on the hunting side, even though me and Christian are not hunters. So our question might come off as, like noobs. All right. So bear with us. So with that being said, today we have the one and only Sheila Vue from Sheila Vue Outdoor. How's it going?
It's good. How are you?
Doing good. We're
Good.
good.
Good. Well, I'm a novice as well, so don't feel like you're alone in that.
Okay.
Some questions you guys
You've,
ask me, and I might be a beginner too. So
we've seen your posts. You've done some really, really cool stuff and gone some really cool places. So yeah. We don't know what we're doing, and so we lean on your expertise in this area.
no expertise here. We're all noobs here, and yeah, no pressure for anyone. So you
What is a fish? I don't know what fish are. What is a deer?
and
All right.
one
So,
swims, one runs
yep,
on land. That's the
yep.
difference.
Oh, perfect.
All right. So, Sheila, before we officially begin this podcast, we like to ask our guests five random questions.
Okay,
Are you ready?
I'll try to be.
I don't
Okay.
think you can be ready.
Don't worry. These are pretty easy.
Okay.
All right. Do you think skinwalkers are real?
Ooh.
I think if you've grown up in the Hmong culture, you might think there's some version of a skinwalker. So yeah, I think possibly it's
Have you
possible. Yeah,
have you seen anything weird
I've
out
not.
there?
Yeah,
Really?
I've been fortunate and I haven't experienced that. And fingers crossed or knock on wood that I don't ever experience anything. So
Ah.
it might be enough to deter me from ever, hitting the woods ever again. So I've heard stories, but I'm fortunate to have not experienced anything. So
Oh,
yeah.
Have,
good, good.
have you ever hunted native land?
No, I haven't. I know they have a lot of like
Skinwalkers.
yeah, there are a lot of like Native American like properties, if you will, that people frequent. I haven't had the privilege of hunting Native American lands. So yeah.
All right. Next question. If your family was starving and you went out to hunt for food and the only thing you saw was a baby deer the whole day, would you shoot it?
Yes, I would.
Heartless. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm
Who's
just
just
kidding.
gonna who's gonna be like, nah, save Bambi. I'm
Yeah.
just let my kids
If
starve.
your family's starving, yeah,
I'm
I,
just
I would do.
kidding.
I'd do it in a heartbeat. Yeah.
I would too. I would too. All right, so next one. If animals could talk like humans, would you still hunt them?
I don't know. That's a hard one. Probably not. That's kind of too close to being human, right? If they can speak and understand and feel the things that we do as humans, yeah, that'd be a hard one. I'd probably be like, no, that's not an animal. That's probably Skinwalker or something, right?
Cool,
True,
you
true.
really put a lot of thought into these. These are good ones.
No, they're fun.
All right, next one. When you're constipating, do you think it's because the magic scuba's taking a field trip in your body?
I'm sorry, Sheila. I told you
No,
you wouldn't be ready for this.
it's been so long since I've watched Magic School Bus that um, that would make sense, right? But probably not for me. That's funny. I guess that's probably what goes through your mind though, right? If
Yep.
you're yeah,
The
we
magic
we could
scuba.
tell you were on the toilet when you came up with these, huh?
yeah, probably.
Always, always. All right, next, last one. If the aliens offer you to hunt and fish in their planet, but you can't come back in the next 10 years, would you take their offer?
No,
Damn.
I don't know where they're taking me. I might be the one who they're hunting. Who knows? Oh, oh, thank you. What about you?
Me personally, I would love to be abducted by aliens.
Really?
I love alien stuff. You know, I love the UFO stuff. I think it will be really interesting. I don't think 10 years is long enough, so I'll be down for it.
Okay. But
Did-
your wife and family,
They can wait.
oh yeah, they're on their own.
Yeah,
They,
they'll find a way to get back, right?
Yeah. What about you, Christian?
Um, nah, not worth it. Time's too short. Even if it was something like aliens, time's too short. Did you
Yeah.
guys see that video of the UFO that got shot by a rocket?
yeah,
No, I
Yeah.
did
yeah.
not.
They shot it like a few times, and
Hmm.
the missile just bounced off their ship.
Oh, I
Yeah,
might have seen that one. Yeah.
the UFO blew off a chunk, but then the chunk kept flying with it. It was cool stuff. Cool stuff.
Creepy.
Hmm.
I honestly think that aliens are not evil beings because if they were evil, I think they would have wiped us out already.
Or they're waiting to. Yeah, they're
No,
probably
because imagine this. Imagine if we have their kind of technology, right? And we're able to observe other planets. I don't think we'll just go wipe them out. We want to observe them, watch them, how they live and everything. And then when it's time to actually go down there, we would go there and try to teach them the way we live or learn from them and have them learn what we know and stuff like that. So I honestly think aliens are just another humankind, but just more advanced than we are.
okay. And
Yeah.
maybe not as evil, right? As
Yeah.
yeah, Earth dwellers. Who knows? Yeah. Interesting.
All right.
Interesting.
All right, so that's it for our five random questions. So, Sheila, so for those who doesn't know you, can you give us a quick background about yourself?
I guess I can try. I haven't rehearsed this at all, but my name's Sheila Vue. I was born and raised here in Colorado. I'm in a family, well, I have eight siblings, six sisters, two brothers. I fall right behind the middle child. Nobody in my family hunts. It's only me, unfortunately, but I am what you would probably call like an adult onset hunter. I didn't start hunting until I was like 21 years old. I didn't really have anyone to teach me. I kind of just had a drive to want to hunt because we grew up fishing a lot in my family. And I was like, well, I want to kind of dabble in that hunting scene now and kind of just got my hunter safety and the rest is history. And I've been hunting for, oh gosh, maybe about 7 years now. So yeah, it's a little bit about me.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. And you're married, right? You have a family?
I don't, I'm not married. No.
Oh, okay.
Yep, no kids yet. So yeah.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Well, that's awesome. Actually, well, Ku, why don't you go ahead? I was gonna start asking questions, but yeah, Ku, you go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna ask, what made you start a Sheila Vu Outdoor?
Mhm.
Um, I think a lot of it is you don't see people who look like us, right, in the outdoors industry, as in, Asians. And you certainly don't see a lot of women. And so that was part of it. The other part was to get out of my comfort zone. I'm actually a very shy person, but I did want to start sort of like documenting my adventures and that's kind of how YouTube came to fruition. I'm trying to keep that going and trying to, encourage young girls and women to get out there. And if this is what they want to do, then like if I can do it, they can do it too. Like I'm a nobody, and you just need a little bit of drive and determination, and you can do it.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. I love to hear that.
All right. Let's go ahead and ask our first
Oh,
questions. Yep,
actually,
go ahead.
really quick. So, how did you get into like the hunting side of things, right? Because you said that nobody in your family was really into it, and this is something similar for Ku and I. Is that nobody in our family was particularly into shooting sports, and it was just kind of something that we picked up later on in life. So,
Yeah.
how did you get into it, and maybe who were some of the people that really helped you along the way?
Yeah, that's a loaded question, right? And a loaded answer too. So there's a lot of different parts and layers to that.
Hmm.
So, growing up, my dad, he did hunt quite a bit, with like the uncles and everything, but like I never got invited being a girl and a daughter. But my dad passed when I was 14. He had liver cancer. And so,
Mm.
we always had camped and fished and everything growing up. So it's like we were already engrossed in the outdoors. But of course, with that, I was like, well, I want to hunt too. I kind of just want to dabble in it, see if I like it. And so when I was 21, I was like, well, I'll just get my hunter safety and maybe I'll start with like bird hunting, whatnot. But my first actual hunt was pronghorn hunting. And I had put in a draw with Colorado Parks and Wildlife. They have a women's outreach program. And you kind of just have to fill out like an application and then you get put into a draw and they review all applications. And I think they only select like 4 women every single year. And so I just happened to get selected, went on a hunt with them on private property. So that was like the first time
Wow.
I really experienced big game hunting for the first time. And
Mhm.
that was a rifle hunt. And
Did you
so
know anybody there, or you just kind of went by yourself?
I went by myself. I was just like,
Wow.
a lot of determination. You want to do it, no,
Hmm.
just go. So they have private land tags
Hmm.
from private landowners that donate to the state. And so this was like a trophy unit. And
Hmm.
went with 4 other women. They kind of like set up camp and everything for us. Was out there for 2 days. Was unsuccessful on the first day, and then on the second day, like right at the last minute, we put a spot and stock on a buck, and I shot him at 70 yards. And then I haven't been on a pronghorn hunt since then, but that's sort of how I started in that. And they had like a mentor that sort of guided me through the process, and then helped me gut it and everything. And then like you just pack it home, right? And so that one I actually went and got processed at a at Steve's Meat Market in Arvada, Colorado. And got like sausage and jerky and stuff made out of it. And then after that, I mean, I think I wanted to start archery too, and there was really nobody, so I just went to like Cabela's and bought a bow, and just started shooting it for fun for a couple of years. I didn't really hunt with it yet, and then I met my fiance, his name's Sir, and he was an avid archer, and so we actually met at the archery range.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a different story. But the first time we met at the archery range, and then I've sort of been following him ever since. But my first archery hunt actually went with some friends and his dad and their uncles, and um, I haven't harvested an elk yet, but I've gone on like multiple deer hunts since then and have harvested deer, and I'm trying to still grow in that space and do more. And sorry if I'm talking too much. I don't like to talk too much. It's kind of a lot of pressure, just people listening, and yeah, I
Nope,
feel like
that's the whole point of having you on here is that we want to hear you talk. So absolutely, absolutely keep talking.
yep. So that's kind of, I don't know, what brings us up to today. Still haven't harvested an elk, but go out every year, try to draw some deer tags every year too. Unfortunately, here in Colorado, we have it's only like a lottery system for deer. You absolutely have to put in for it and build points. So it's like we can't just go and pick up like an over-the-counter tag like how you might in Wisconsin or Minnesota. So yeah.
So how many times do you drag your fiance out to go do stuff with you? How
Well, it's more
often?
like he probably drags me out.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, I think we have a healthy balance. I think
Hmm.
there's a lot of times where he just wants to go with the boys, and so it's just like
Hmm.
okay, go and have their fun. And then a lot of times, like I want to go too, and they're very welcoming of newcomers or even women and their moms and their aunts and everything hunt too. So women in the Hmong cult or in the Hmong community here in Colorado are very very active and avid in the outdoors. So.
Ah, that's awesome. Which part of Colorado are you in?
So I'm actually in Commerce City, which is closer to
Hmm.
Denver International Airport, but I've kind of lived all over the Denver metro area. You know.
Ah,
So probably about
cool.
20 minutes north of downtown Denver.
Ah, cool, cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, my wife really wants to take me to Colorado. She's been a couple times and she says, it's beautiful over there. The mountains are incredible. I have not made my way over to Colorado yet, but one of these days we will.
Come in September. Right now, the leaves are changing
Hmm?
and it's beautiful.
Ah.
What parts have your wife frequented?
Um, it's either Denver or Boulder. I've
Probably.
got to ask her.
Okay. Probably both. Boulder's not too far from Denver. It's maybe a 45-minute drive on a good day.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. So she's been around that area. Mhm.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, certainly come out here. It's beautiful and it's a lot different now in the last 5 years. Just a lot of people moving in and residential is like new home builds are
Mhm.
just going up like crazy. So
Gotcha, gotcha. Sorry, I kind of stole your thunder, Koo. You go ahead with your questions.
No, no, you good, man. So for your first hunt, did you get anything or
I did. Yeah, I
okay,
harvested a buck,
okay.
pronghorn, and I mean I can send you pictures too. So
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
How did it feel when you first got your first buck?
A lot of emotions. I think one was definitely like you're remorseful, obviously,
Hmm.
taking a life. And so I cried. Yeah, I did cry because
Oh.
you feel bad, but then at the same
Hmm.
time, like you've put in so much work and you were scared that you were going to go home with probably nothing. And then everything just kind of comes together and you have something to show for it, but at the cost of an animal's life. So it's like a lot of mixed emotions. And I still feel like that every single time I harvest a big animal. But everyone kind of experiences or process it differently. So I think for me, I will probably always cry with every single big
Oh.
I get. Yeah.
Yeah, the reason
I
why I ask is because I went squirrel hunting before for my first hunt and I never got one, so I just shot a chickmunk.
Oh, and how did that make you feel? Did you cry too?
I did. I felt bad because I shot it on the throat and it didn't die right away. So it was like
Oh.
I was like
Uh,
choking on its own blood and then me and my
oh,
cousin we were
That's
trying to
awful.
like
Oh,
smash
that's
it.
awful. That's
that
awful.
happened. Yeah.
That's
That,
Yeah,
awful.
and then it didn't die and then after like a few seconds then it died and then
oh,
I was like, "Oh shit, dude. I should have never done that." I was too desperate to kill a squirrel, but
Something.
yeah,
yeah.
that's
But
rough.
it tastes exactly like squirrel though.
Oh, okay. Well, at least
Yeah.
you ate it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, we ate it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. I don't know if I would like eating squirrel. My mom, she's always like she calls me yesterday actually. She's like, "Hey, I made mumblo and squirrel, do you want to come over?" And I was like, "No, I'll take the sticky rice, but I don't think I want the squirrel." But I think she would really appreciate it if I went and hunted squirrel more often.
You should try it. It's very good. It kind of reminded me of sheep.
I've had like ram here.
Yeah.
So my fiance, his sister actually harvested a desert bighorn
Hmm.
sheep and that's on a draw system. So I think 16,000 people put in for it, and only residents can, and only a handful, I think maybe 16 out of 16,000 only get selected. And
Mm.
we got selected in a lottery system, and she went and harvested a ram, and I tried it for the first time last year, and I don't really like it. I don't
Okay.
like beef. Yeah, but it's just different too. So,
Yeah.
but for me, I believe in definitely trying things like maybe 2 times before I knock it. So I'm actually very food adventurous. Yeah.
I've had squirrel once. I didn't like it. Maybe I need to try squirrel again. It's been a
Oh,
while.
what did it taste like to you?
I mean, actually, just wild animals, they're always kind of tough.
Yeah.
We're really used to farm raised animals where the
Mm,
meat is very tender, it's very fatty, and so it tastes really good. So there's like a very specific way that we're used to our meat tasting. But then you eat animals in the wild, and they're very tough, they're very gamey, and so that's
yeah.
I was kind of really turned off by it. I think I was probably like maybe 14 or 15, so it's been a long while. Um, Maybe I need to give it a shot.
They say your palate changes every 7 years, so
Hmm.
yeah. So maybe you might like it now. Who knows? No.
I will have to take up my family on it next time they get some squirrel.
But I should probably take my own advice on that too, right? I really
All right,
no.
Yeah,
we'll do it.
I think
We'll all
it
do
just
squirrel.
I think it depends on the way you cook it too. Because I
Hmm.
noticed that
Hmm.
with like game meat, you have to add a lot of herbs and
Yeah.
seasoning and pepper to make it taste good. But if you just grill it, you still taste that wildness, so it's not that
Hmm.
good. So I think it really depends on how you cook the meat.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
All right. So how do you prepare mentally and physically before heading out into the outdoors?
Well, it depends on what I'm hunting, right?
Hmm.
If it's like big game or if it's like duck, I love duck hunting. And I didn't actually get to that point where Christian asked me earlier about like who kind of helped me along the way. And my brother-in-law, Billy, actually got me into duck hunting. So at the time, he and my sister were only dating. And every single year, they'd be like, go with us, go with us. And I was just like, gross. Like, bird flu, avian flu. Like I don't want to be around that. And so finally, I think it was maybe in 2018, I was finally like, okay, we'll go early teal season, which is 1 week in September. And so I went with him, and I've never looked back. But as far as like how I get ready for it, I should probably hit the gym more. I will admit that. I used to be a gym rat, and I think just as I've started working the corporate world, that kind of takes my time away, right? And so um, I think, I don't know, maybe try, if anyone wants to get into it, walking probably every day is an important piece. Try to hit the gym. I mean, if you're bow hunting like me or archery hunting, you probably should be doing some weightlifting, and, back workouts. You kind of have to do like full body workout for big game archery hunting, especially here in Colorado. Really high elevation, a lot of steep inclines. Um, yeah, I don't know. Mentally, I think I just look forward to the fun part of it, right? Like I just want to get out there. It's sort of my time away from work. It's how I can kind of recoup. I kind of find a lot of peace in the outdoors. So there's not a lot of preparation for that. Now, if I was going alone, that might be a different story. And I've only done one solo hunt, and it's a little bit scary. I mean, where we frequent, we're maybe 3, 4 hours from home, maybe longer, and or further. And the thought of skinwalkers or something like that, or encountering that
Yeah.
stuff is kind of scary when you're solo hunting. Um, and that certainly kind of crept into my mind when I was solo hunting last year for deer. So, um, yeah, I don't know. I think, making sure that all of your equipment is in tip-top shape too is a big piece of it, and that you're practicing with it and you're taking care of it and cleaning it. And yeah, I don't know. That's kind of a loaded answer too. So, yeah.
Uh,
That's pretty cool. I don't know if I'm brave enough to go hunting by myself.
I think you could be, depending on what game you're pursuing, right? Like if I was to go duck hunting on my own,
Mhm.
I could probably do that. Like no big deal. But big game, like elk hunting in the mountains by myself, I mean, you have bears to think about now and mountain lions. We
Mm-hmm.
now have wolves here in Colorado, that they
Oh,
so it's just, and humans too, right? You're a
yeah.
girl going out there by
Yep. Yep.
yourself.
Yep.
That's probably the scariest piece is making sure that you're safe and that people back home know where you're at. And then having, like a Garmin inReach in case an emergency happens. You have like the SOS button you can push,
Mhm.
or you're able to like text your loved ones. Yeah, so there's a lot. We could probably talk about this for days, and I still wouldn't cover everything. So,
Gotcha. Gotcha. Well, actually, I should clarify. Um, I don't mind being by myself, like in the middle of the night. So my wife's been getting kind of mad at me because so I've been trying to exercise more, and usually I don't find time until like midnight. And so at midnight, I will actually walk around like the neighborhood, and I'll actually like go to my farm down the street. So I've got like maybe a 60 acres out there, and so I will just walk around at like midnight to 2 a.m. just like
mhm.
out there in the dark. The only difference is that I have night vision on.
Oh,
So I don't mind being out there in the dark at night. I think more of hunting.
yeah.
I don't really have the mindset for it right now. And I don't know if this is true for you too yet, Ku, but I just I don't know. I don't have the ability to just kind of sit there and like just wait and wait and wait. It hasn't clicked for me yet. Maybe one day it'll click for me, but it hasn't quite clicked for me yet.
Okay. Yeah, and there are so many different styles of hunting that you can do.
Hmm.
But you're in North Carolina, right? Is that correct?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh,
Yep. I'm over in North Carolina. So all the Hmong people live in like the Hickory area. I'm about like 20, 30 minutes away from where most of them live.
wow, you said 30 acres or 40?
I've got a 60-acre farm just
Oh,
down the
wow.
street from me. So
Okay.
that's where my gun range is, and so that's where I teach all my classes. So we'll do a lot of fun, crazy stuff out there.
Yeah, that sounds fun. Yeah, I think depending on what type of like style hunting you get into, I mean, you can do like spot stock, or I know in North Carolina where you guys have probably white-tailed deer, right? People kind of
Hmm.
just in blinds, ground blinds, or they do the I don't know if you guys do tree saddle hunting up there or just like yeah, tree
I've,
stand.
I've got a lot of I got a lot of friends who do tree stands.
Okay.
We've got a couple tree stands on my land, so some of my friends will come hunt over here, even though I don't.
Okay. Yeah, here in Colorado, I mean, we have white-tailed deer in the eastern plains.
Hmm.
And so if people have property, because it's so flat out there, it makes sense to have like a ground blind or like a tree stand. But if you're like hunting in the mountains of Colorado, like for elk,
Hmm.
like you're going to be probably like spot and stock most of the
Hmm.
time. And I don't know if you could apply that to like white-tailed deer hunting out east.
Explain spot and stalk for those of our listeners who don't know what that is.
Yeah, so we have like mule deer here also, right in the mountains.
Hmm.
So typically you'll probably sit somewhere and scope, try to find the animals, maybe where they're
Hmm.
bedded during the day. If they're bedded, you're probably going to do your best to try to get as close to them as possible, right? Depending on what season it is, right? So if
Hmm.
it's archery, you're like, okay, you may want to be within, I don't know, 30 to 50 yards before you take the shot, depending on what your comfortability is. And like same with elk too, right? Maybe you're doing location bugles and you might be able to pinpoint where they might be on the next ridge. And if they're answering or, mewing or cow calling back, you kind of like try to get in as quiet as possible, try to get in as close of range as possible before taking the shot or assessing the situation. So,
What's the longest ethical distance you would shoot a deer at?
so with archery, probably 40, yeah, and then with elk, probably the same thing. Yeah.
What about with a rifle?
With a rifle, I don't know, maybe 250. Yeah.
Oh, not too bad.
Yeah. And that depends on what caliber too,
Hmm.
right? You're shooting. So yeah. But I think that for me personally,
Hmm.
probably 250 is like the max.
I don't know anything about hunting, so I'm just going off what you say.
Okay. No, it's different for everybody. Some people who practice year round with their
Uh-huh.
rifle, I mean, you could see them taking up to 1,000-yard shot. I
Hmm.
don't think that's ethical, but I mean,
Hmm.
depends how much you practice and how well you know your weapons. Like to each their own. So yeah, can't really knock on people. So, yep.
Cool. What's the longest rifle shot you've taken?
300.
300. Where's the 300-yard range up in your area?
It's somewhere in Wabasha, Minnesota. It's like a outdoor range all the way to 300, but
Hmm.
it's like 2 hours away from where I live, so I don't
Oh
go there.
wow.
Yeah, I only
Wow.
go there like once in the blue moon, and then
Hmm.
uh, there was this Mikaga over there, and he let me shot his rifle at 300
Nice.
yards. I forgot which caliber though, but it, I, yeah, I forgot which caliber, but it wasn't. It was pretty easy, obviously, just because I was sitting down and everything. So, but it was fun though. But I did shoot a 22 LR match before, which is like 22 long rifle, and I was
Mhm.
missing at 50 yards. It's hard, man.
It
It's hard, dude.
they have
So
pretty small targets, don't they?
yeah, it's like the size of a
Hmm.
quarter,
Yeah.
and I couldn't hit it at all. And yeah, I suck. I suck at long range. Yeah. Yeah, because I had to shoot like in multiple position,
Hmm.
and the only thing that I ever shot from was just sitting down.
Yeah.
So I never shot from prone or like standing
Hmm.
up and everything. I just kept on missing. So I went home early.
Oh,
Oh.
Yeah, because I didn't have the right equipment to begin with.
Hmm.
So yeah.
okay.
So
That's rough.
Sheila,
Dang.
when you go hunting alone, do you sleep in a tent or in your truck?
I've only gone once by myself, and I slept in my truck, and I was so
Okay.
scared the entire night.
Oh.
It's scary. I think
Hmm.
I'd like to get a camper eventually. That probably
Hmm.
would help. Um, but or like because I drive a truck too, I could probably try to get like a rig where the tent is like in the bed of the truck or on the roof of the truck. Something eventually. Yeah, something to give me a platform, right? Not right on the ground.
Yeah.
Uh, would probably make me feel a lot more comfortable. Yeah. And I'm a light sleeper too, so um, any and everything that I hear just freaks me out throughout the night. So,
If you ever want to get into night vision and thermals, hit me up. I know people.
I would love to, especially with predator control.
Hmm.
I've seen some amazing
Yeah.
on
Like
that side.
coyote hunting and wild boars. Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's sort of a question that I had for you guys since your channel's firearms and tactical shooting, and maybe there's more to it than that. But somebody like me, right, who's never been exposed to it and maybe wants to dabble in that space, how do they get into it? Where do they start?
That's a great question. So what I would say from my perspective is, it's good to find a community. It's good to find people who are out there. So if you guys go on Facebook, we've got our Mountain Tribe Development, our Hmong training group. It's called the Hmong training group, but it is open to everyone. We gladly accept everyone in there. As long as you're not a scammer or a spammer, you're absolutely welcome to come join and come learn. But yeah, it's really good to kind of join a group. One of the things that I kind of learned early on is that one of the mistakes I made is just trying to learn everything from YouTube. Anybody can put anything on YouTube,
Hmm.
and there are things that work and then things that look cool, right? And the people who make things look cool aren't necessarily are the ones who really know the things that work well.
Hmm.
And so that I've had to kind of like unlearn a lot of the lessons or a lot of the techniques that I started learning early on. Um, but Ku and I were huge advocates of doing competition shooting. The competition shooting scene is very welcoming for the most part. I'm sure there are people out there who are not the most welcoming, but from my experience, most people there, they want new people to join and they want to teach you, how do you get someone up to speed and techniques and just invite them because we want the scene to grow. We want more people interested in the sport. So the competition shooting scene is definitely one of the things that I highly recommend getting into. Um, there's you already know that there's so many different types of shooting. And so it really depends, right? Some people are into like sporting clays or trap or skeet, or there's so many different types of like pistol disciplines, whether it's like USPSA or whether it's like bullseye shooting, like Olympic style, or three gun. There's so many. A lot of it just comes down to what's kind of in your area, what are people doing in your area, and then just kind of plug into those communities. That's a great place to start. What
That's
about you,
great.
Coop?
Um, Pretty much just what you said. I don't own night vision. I'm too cheap. So yeah, I can't talk about night vision.
Don't get me started on night vision. I will talk about it for like a whole hour, if not more. I have no one to talk to about it.
All right, so what's one skill you think everyone should know before spending an extended time in the wilderness?
That's a great question. What skill set? Um, I don't know. I think maybe it's not really a skill set, but just like being open to learning, and asking questions. There's no such thing as like a stupid question if you want to learn. Or like if you want to learn, like just get out there and do it and find resources. Um, there are a lot of like women communities out there, right, in the hunting space right now, that can encourage kind of like novice hunters, and kind of bring them under their wing and kind of, teach them the ropes. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'll have to think about that one. I don't know if I answered your question, but I would say it's more of like a mental game than it is physical in the hunting space. So just know that that's what you really do want to do and that you're going to put the time and dedication and um, I don't know, I guess like drive into it if you're going to be in it for the long haul. You know? And if it's not for you, then it's not for you. That's okay too.
Yeah, even if I don't hunt that much, I do enjoy the outdoor, and I think one skill set that people should have is self-awareness. Because there are some dumbass people out there that just don't pay attention to their surroundings, and that's how they get lost or get killed because they're
Yeah.
so naive. So I feel like in order for you to do anything outdoor, whether it's just camping or hiking or hunting, you have to have very good self-awareness. Not trusting too much not trusting people too easily. Understand that not every animal is friendly. Or think that you could speak to an animal. You know what I mean? Like for example, if a mountain lion is coming up to me, right? I'm not gonna just stand there and tell it to stop. I'm gonna start shooting right away. I'm not gonna take that risk, you know? So
I think that's a great point. Self-awareness, which kind of makes me think about like a good sense of direction,
yeah.
right? Which there are tools out there. If you don't have a good sense of direction, again, there's the Garmin InReach, where like you can learn how to use a compass or read maps. Probably really understand the area that you're going into before you go out there. Always have like an emergency kit or like a way of like purifying water uh,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
to find water sources. I've run out of water and had to find water before and
Oh, wow.
had to use like a pump, right? To pump out of a river. Like we were probably at maybe 10,000 feet in elevation and there was like no clean water up there. I'm not going to be siphoning water out of like an elk wallow. And so like we had to climb down an elevation to find running water to be able to pump it. And then always have like some sort of water bladder or water bottle that's going to hold that for you. There's all sorts of different techniques that you can use to purify water. They have like iodine tablets or like UV lights, or again just pumps, or you can use like Sawyer um, filtration systems. You know, lots of different things. Or just boil water if you have the means to make a fire out there. So yeah.
Wow, that's actually a really cool point. The funny part is I have most of those things, but it's not like I go off into the wilderness of Colorado. I am like 10 minutes away from Walmart and it just sits in my bag.
That's fine. Fine if you need to use it. I think they do expire. So if you need to
They
use it,
do.
yeah, go to like a lake. If you ever make it to Colorado, just go to a lake or a river or something and maybe use it. And hopefully you don't get Giardia or something, right? What about you, Christian? Do you have any, I don't know, advice on tactics or something to know for survival?
Hmm. So most of my training has to do with more urban. It's more like, what do people encounter day to day?
Hmm.
So a little bit of my background is that I'm certified under the Range Master program as a master firearms instructor. I've taken other instructor level courses, and it's the biggest thing, like Ku says, is that just pay attention to your surroundings. Number one, a lot of people, they'll have like both ears will be full of AirPods and just kind of looking at their phone while they're walking across the street. And so I too work in a corporate IT environment. So I'll be in the downtown area and I'll be crossing the street, and there'll be people like crossing the street playing on their phones and like nearly getting hit by cars, right?
Yep.
And so that's just one of my big things is just know what's around you.
Yep.
And if you kind of learn a lot about, especially in the self-defense space, about kind of like the mindset of like the criminal mindset. And one of those things is, you want to look for an easy target. Okay, I want an easy payday. So I'm going to look for the person who is distractive, right? The person who is carrying a child or carrying groceries. Somebody who, I can defeat with very little resistance. That's what I want, right? But if somebody is, paying attention to their surroundings, looking around, right, and really trying to keep an eyeball out for just like suspicious people. That's not really a person that a bad guy's going to mess with. So that's number one. Number two is that a lot of people, they have this mindset that bad things don't happen to me. Some of you guys may have heard the story of that Ukrainian lady,
Hmm.
Irina. I forgot her last name. And so my wife and I were actually in Charlotte, like at the light rail, like the day after that happened, right? And
Yeah.
so I was telling my wife about this. I was like, yeah, like she got stabbed on that train, like this very same train, like we're crossing the train tracks now, right? And so a lot of people have this mindset out that, oh, horrible things happen, but it doesn't happen to me.
Hmm.
And so like a lot of like my friends and family, even like my sisters, do you like true crime?
I do. Yeah.
Ah, a lot of people love true crime, but nobody ever thinks that, that's going to happen to me. And I had this conversation with my sister, like,
Yep.
guess who, this is not like the nicest way to say it, but like, guess who like the most murderable type of person is? And it's a young college girl. I'm like, guess who you are? You are a young college girl, right? And so, um, I've been trying to encourage, especially women. I've been seeing a lot more ladies in my classes. I've been encouraging them to, don't have the mindset that it can't happen to me because it does happen exactly to people like you all around you, right? And
Hmm.
so it's number one, paying attention to what's around you. And number two, having a plan of what am I going to do
Hmm.
if that happens, right? Because you can't live your life and just hope that nothing bad happens to you. Hope is not a good plan. It's not.
Yep.
So one of my biggest thing is that, just in the way that you don't put on your seatbelt when you feel like you're going to get into a car accident, right?
Hmm.
Put on your seatbelt every time. So my friends always joke with me, especially when I started concealed carrying a firearm. They were always like, "Hey, are you carrying a gun? Hey, are you carrying a gun?" And so my response after that, after a while, was just like, "If I'm wearing pants, I'm carrying a gun." Okay.
Yep.
And when my wife got married to me, this was one of like the first things that was kind of weird for her is that her husband or her boyfriend, her fiance, her husband always has a gun on him. Okay.
Yep.
And yeah. And I always tell her that, it doesn't matter if you're at a, even my sisters are like, we're at church or we're at a movie theater or like, why do you have a gun here? I'm like, you're right, because nobody ever gets shot at a church or a movie theater or any place. It's you don't get to pick. You don't get to pick when bad things happen to you. So it's you have the mentality that, you know, um, I don't like I don't want to be overly tactical. Some people, they're always wearing the 511 gear. They're always wearing like the skull t-shirts or the gun t-shirts. I own zero gun t-shirts. Like I have no t-shirts with like any gun branding on them whatsoever. Because I like to be just low profile. I like to look like just like a regular dad out with his family because that's really what I want to be. I just want to be a regular dad out there with his family, right? But if something happens, yeah, I've got a sub-second draw. Yeah, I can do a sub 2 second build drill. And yeah, that's going to be very bad for you if you have to find that out. So that's how I want to be. So
Okay.
yeah, especially when talking about like
Yeah.
basic outdoor preparedness. Yeah, just having a plan, just knowing, how do I get back to my vehicle? Like we've heard the stories of like families, they'll go out there and they can't find their way back to the trailhead, and just like the very basic stuff. So just having the mentality of what are the bad things that could happen, and
Yep.
how do I prevent those bad things from happening?
Yeah. Be prepared, be proactive. Um, yeah, unfortunately, not everyone is thinking like that, you know.
Unfortunately, I know there were those two hunters that everybody was looking for like this past week, and
Yeah.
everybody's like, "Oh, it's like a conspiracy because all their equipment was in the truck, and then it was just a freak accident. They just got hit by lightning,
Yep.
and I was so sad to hear."
Yep. And that you can't prevent. I mean, you can maybe predict like inclement
Hmm.
weather coming in
Hmm.
to probably get off the mountains at that point. But here in Colorado, because that happened here in southern Colorado, where those two hunters unfortunately passed, yeah, we get like weird afternoon storms, and I think you just have to know that it could hit at any given time. And so if you see a storm moving in, clouds moving in, like get off the mountains right away. But I mean, it didn't strike them. I don't think the lightning struck them. I think it struck ground next to them. So,
Mm-hmm. Sometimes, unfortunately, it's just your time to go.
yep,
And but for any other times, I'm going to put up as much of a fight as I can.
yep. Oh, that's great advice. Oh,
What about you, Koo? How do you survive in urban situations?
Urban.
Koo's hard. Koo grew up on the streets.
No, no, no. It's exactly what you just said. It's the same thing. Same advice, pretty much. Just be prepared. You know, you never know when it's your time to defend yourself. So always got to be prepared and pay attention to your surroundings.
okay. Now, Christian, you brought up something interesting. You said when you're concealed carrying, you carry in movie theaters as well. Is that correct? Are you always carrying? I mean, and I asked that because I mean, I have a concealed carry also here in Colorado,
Mhm.
but I will admit I need to do more research on, the laws here in Colorado. And there are certain buildings, of course, right, that we're not allowed to carry in. And a
Mhm.
movie theater, of course, is one of those here in Colorado. And I don't know if that kind of applies across the nation.
Yeah, every state has its own restrictions on different locations you can and cannot carry. And so it's important that you know the laws and that you follow the laws. Those are important to do. So it comes down to just kind of being educated. There are actually apps out there you can download for your iPhone or Android that will actually display like the different laws for each state. It's very handy, especially if you're traveling between different states. It's good to know what are the different regulations depending on where you're at. Mhm.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just taking notes here. Do you know off the top of your head what those apps are? Just so I can jot this
Are
down.
you an iPhone or Android user?
Android.
Um, the one I use is called the CCW app. It's kind of an older one. It's got a picture of a Beretta PX4 over an American flag. It
Okay.
costs like $2 a year. It's pretty good. However, I got this a long time ago. They do update it, but I don't check it that much. There are there probably are better ones out there. This app is not the most well optimized. I know, like the USCCA, they have an app as well too. I think you might have to be a member. Um, I have mixed feelings about the USCCA. Um, I've been banned from their social media because I called them out on some stuff, and so they banned me.
Oh,
But they do put out pretty good materials in terms of like reciprocity, meaning
mhm.
that if you have a Colorado concealed carry permit, North Carolina concealed carry permit, what states honor it. So in terms of that, they do put out pretty good content. It's the rest of what they do that I have a problem with.
Oh, cool.
Guess
Thank
we're
you.
not getting sponsored by them, Koo.
I'm still a member with them.
Uh-oh.
Oh, you
Sorry.
are? We got to get you off of there.
But no, I don't care. I'm not working for them or anything. So you guys could talk shit about them.
I won't.
Yeah. No, I mean to be honest, I don't. I hear a lot of shady shit from USCCA also, but I'm just with them because I've been with them since 2018, and in my opinion, for not researching other company, they're like the biggest one, right? So they're the biggest company, so that means they got money. But that's a whole different topic, though.
I got to talk with you sometime. We got to
Yeah.
get you off USCCA. We got to get you onto the better stuff. There's much better stuff out there.
So, Sheila, what has been the toughest outdoor experience or trip that you faced, and what did you learn from it?
Elk hunting is always hard. I don't think it matters what season you're going, like whether it's archery or muzzle or rifle season. Um, the toughest hunt I've ever been on, it was probably maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And I mean, I had been archery hunting for a couple of years already, and I was completely unprepared for this one. This is the one where I ran out of water and had to find a water source. But um, I mean, you're always going to be doing incline hikes in elk country. and I was completely unprepared for this mountain. I probably should have conditioned more before season, and we started hiking probably at like 2 in the morning, and
Wow.
we're gonna try to get to the peak. Beat the thermals, beat the elk up the mountain, before sunrise. And I was with my fiance and his brother was not happy with me. Like I was slowing them down, and I felt bad, right? Because you want to be able to keep up with everybody, and um, you don't want to let anyone down, especially yourself too. And then like the more experienced hunters, and so that in itself is like you're frustrated with yourself, and then you're frustrated with them. They're frustrated with you, and then now you're thinking about your phys physic physicality, I guess. Um, and then I don't know. So that's hard. And then you get up there, you hear the elk, and they beat you to whatever peak you're trying to get to. And so it almost feels like you did all that work all for naught, hiking all those miles, hiking all that incline. It was probably, I want to say maybe a 1,000 foot incline difference. Um, and then, we're up there all morning, all afternoon. You run out of water. And now it's like, okay, great. Now everyone has to pack up and go down and grab water. I mean, they ran out of water too, but they were doing okay. And then having to find that source of water and then pumping water for yourself, and then still being able to keep up with them, right? And then when do you call it quits? When do they call it quits? Um, but what I learned from that is definitely get my butt into shape better. Um, don't be so hard on myself. Always be determined, I guess. Um, and I think one bad trip doesn't necessarily mean every single trip afterwards is going to be bad. Not every single experience is always going to be like that. And if you can hike this bad mountain and get through all of that, you can kind of handle the next kind of obstacles that may come. So yeah, it's a lot of perseverance, I would say. So yeah, perseverance and physicality are the two big ones for me. And it's different for everybody. That was my big takeaway.
How
Oh,
heavy, how heavy is your bag when you go like hunting like that?
Yeah, so for us, well, for me anyway, I haven't really done the backcountry thing where like you pack in like your camp and everything on your back and then you just like set up camp wherever you get to. We always just like have a home base, which is
Hmm.
like by the roads, and then we go out and hunt all
Mm,
and
yeah.
maybe come back in the afternoon, regroup with everybody, or like you're out all day and then you always come back in the evening, just make sure everyone's safe, right? So that's the type of hunting that I do.
Okay.
But as far as how heavy my pack is, I mean, I have my pack. I always want to carry water. So I always try to have like a water bladder. And I carry maybe 3 liters of water at least. I might throw some water bottles in there too. Um, and then I have my bow, of course. I think my bow probably weighs somewhere around maybe 6 pounds. And then like you want food and stuff too and snacks, right? So I might be carrying, I want to say for me, maybe about 30 pounds. That's probably at the most. Because then you have like your radio and everything and fire starters, emergency kit, game bags in case you get anything, and then like your knife, and then of course you have your like I carry a gun also just for protection. Um, so there's yeah, maybe about 30 pounds, I'd say. Yeah.
wow. That's pretty cool. I
Ugh.
say this because I was working in IT and my backpack weighed like 40 pounds just
Yikes.
for me to get to work.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I carried way too much stupid stuff in there.
Yeah, I have like my work bag too, and I always have like 2 laptops and
Hmm.
notebooks and stuff, and I haven't weighed it, but sometimes it feels like it's about as heavy as my like pack for hunting. So yeah.
They get real heavy really fast.
Hmm.
How's it like to make content while hunting? So, for example, right, I watch a lot of outdoor videos. Do you like set your camera over there and then you have to walk back just to record yourself going forward, or how do you do it?
I don't do that, and I'm very fortunate to have my fiance who
Okay.
he loves like playing around and fidgeting with cameras and stuff, and
Aw,
he's very like techie, and so
aw.
He kind of sets up the cameras and everything for me. I do admit I probably should do a lot of self-recording. I mean, I try to, but I don't like doing the whole like you set it and then you walk all the way back
Yeah.
and then you like
Hmm.
seem like,
Hmm.
oh, it's just you. I think we try to get a lot of different angles though, right? So we'll probably have, I want to say we have at any given time like maybe 4 or 5 cameras going, and that could
Wow.
GoPros or 360. He has a really nice like A7 III Sony, and then we have like a camcorder. So it really just depends on like time of day too. So like the camcorder is great for night vision. If I don't, if we're like walking back right to camp in the dark, we might use the camcorder. And then like you always have to like adjust the ISO and everything right on your GoPros. So yeah, I don't know. I hope that answers your question. We try to set like maybe like cameras at any different angle. And then always try to be running a GoPro. So maybe 2, 3, 4 different angles at any given time, depending on what game we're going out for. It's kind of hard to do that when you're kind of running and gunning, right, with big game. But if you're like hunting ducks on a pond, it's easier to have like, okay, we're absolutely just keeping the cameras in these areas right now, and we don't have to go grab them until we're ready to pack out for the day. So,
Oh, that's pretty cool.
mhm.
How
For
much? Yeah. Oh,
this,
well, yeah, go ahead.
that probably wasn't a great answer, but
No, no, no. That, you answered my question. I was gonna ask you, how much do you think you spent per hunting trip?
oh gosh. I mean, if it's big game, and if we're going to be out there for like, I'm a weekend warrior. I like to just go out like Fridays and then maybe come back on a Monday. Um, Depending on how far we go, I think we could be spending like upwards of $500 every trip. And that's like in gas and food and whatever else we want to grab along the way. Maybe
That's
even
not bad.
more ammo. I mean, I would say 500 is probably on the conservative
Mhm.
side, because if my mom listens to this, she's probably not going to be happy with me. And my siblings also. But yeah, five upwards of 500. And that's like every week, right? Because okay, you go up one weekend and then you come back and work for the rest of the week and then you're back up there again. And that's for big game. If we're doing like waterfowl hunting where it's an easier like just day trip, I mean that's just a drop in the bucket, right? That's not an expense that we really need to pay attention to. So yeah.
Hmm. Hunting is a lot cheaper than I thought, but I
And
think it's
it's not, maybe I'm just being very conservative.
well, if
I
you
don't know.
because you're not factoring in the gear that you already have, like the actual trip itself,
Yeah.
but the actual gear and all of your equipment,
Mhm.
that's when it gets pricey.
Yeah, it's really expensive to start out with. And
Hmm.
I always like to say for like the novice people getting into it,
Hmm.
like buy once, cry once, right? If that's what your goal is eventually, you're going to be in this for the long haul,
Hmm.
get the equipment that is gonna last, right?
Hmm.
And I made a mistake with that where I was like, well, I'm gonna maybe just buy little pieces here and there,
Hmm.
do like layering systems. Um, and then like after that first year, I was like starting to buy the more expensive
Hmm.
gear, and it's like I should have just started with this to begin with, because it's gonna last
Mm.
10 years, right? If it's good quality gear and brands. Yeah, so.
Gotcha, gotcha. No, no, that makes sense. That absolutely makes sense.
Mhm. So yes, it's expensive to start with, and then as you have built your arsenal of equipment, it gets easier from there.
Mm.
Yeah, I agree with that because I think any hobby
Mm-hmm.
is expensive to start with. And it just really depends on how far you want to take the hobby.
Yep.
Just like, like competition, shooting, you will have to spend like at least close to 2 grand to
Mm-hmm.
to start, the gun, the equipment, the ammo, and that's just to start. And then if depends how much you go do the hobby, you will have to spend a couple hundred every trip. But the thing is that a lot of people you know, don't calculate that in because they don't want to know, like me. Like back then when I used to go shoot, uh, before I was working on the weekend, I would go shoot every week, like 2, 3 times a week, and I calculate everything. I was spending like 2 to 300 every single week.
Hmm.
So yeah, but it just depends on how hard you want to
Yeah,
go at it. Yeah.
dedication, right? Dedication and priorities and a lot of sacrifice, right? Doing the hobbies. So yeah.
All right. So, how do you see yourself? How do you see your role part of the Hmong community, the Hmong outdoor community?
How do I see my role in it, like right
Yeah.
now or in the
Uh,
future?
right now in the future, how do you see yourself playing the Hmong outdoor community or hunting community?
Right now, I'm just a nobody. I'm just another person out there doing what I love, um, and having the drive, right, to actually want to learn and not being in the headspace of, oh, I'm just a girl. I can't do it on my own. My personality type too is that I'm very stubborn, and the more that people tell me I can't do something or that I shouldn't, the more I actually go and do it. That's kind of like my drive and my fire. Maybe it's out of spite, but I don't know. That's what my mom says of me. I'm very stubborn. She's like, "Come on, it's like, you shouldn't be doing all this and that boys do." She's like, so that's how I see myself right now anyway, right? But if I can be a trailblazer, right, in the home space for women, that's where I think I really want to go with SBO, is just you can do it. Anybody can do it if you have hopefully like an uncle or a dad who's willing to teach you along the way. That's great. And hopefully that male figure for you too, right, or female figure is willing to um, you know, pull you in and teach you and um, see the greater cause, I guess. Um, but how I'm going to get there, I don't know. It's probably a lot of networking, right? And probably a lot of more YouTube videos need to go up and I think just make myself more available to, right, to the community. And I don't know. I mean, you guys are doing great with your YouTube channel and trying to outreach. So I
We're
mean,
not.
you guys reached out to me. Oh, I don't know. I don't even know how you found me. I guess that's a question. How did you guys find me?
Ku
Uh,
and I will know that we made it when we end up on Hmong Tea. When we end up on Hmong Tea, that's when we made it.
yes.
I don't want to do home tea. No, thank you.
Just I see your videos on I don't know I don't know how, but it's just on Facebook. So
Okay.
yeah,
Maybe I should be more active on Facebook than on social media. Uh,
especially for the Hmong community, yes, Facebook, because Hmong people are still very old school. Um, but then if you want to reach out to like the Miga community, it would have to be Instagram and YouTube
and TikTok.
and
I'm,
TikTok.
TikTok.
Yes, yes.
TikTok.
I see a lot of like the younger generation of Hmong people, right? They're very active on TikTok. So yeah, I don't know. I would love to be able to be hopefully like a trailblazer for the Hmong women in the community. Um, but that's going to take a lot of work. So a lot of ideas and gears kind of turning in my head for that already. So
I think you are. Definitely, your story is very unique. I don't really know very many Hmong women, especially in like the outdoor sports type of space. This is something I talk to Ku a lot about. Is that you've got something that very few people are doing, but not a lot of people know about it. And I think it's mostly an advertising problem.
mhm.
I think that's really what it comes down to. That if you really just sat down and kind of figure out a strategy of, what are the social media trends? How do I get trending? How do I go viral? How do I go popular? What are those small 10, 30 second little snippets? Because those are the things that are really popular right now. And if you can just clip like
Mhm.
that 30-second clip or that 10-second clip, and then you make it go viral, that's when you really start to kind of pick up momentum. And I was doing that for a while, and then Facebook shadow banned me, and so I'm like, okay, do I really care that much? Because
Yeah.
I used to be able to break like million views on my videos, but
Oh,
not anymore.
wow.
And
Okay.
so I just my priority now is more towards my family and more towards like my other business ventures. So I don't
Yeah.
I'm not as big into that anymore. But
Yeah.
yeah, I would say that that's something for you to think about. That I think you're doing something super cool. And if you were to, maybe you want to host like a ladies intro to hunting kind of thing and just invite all these ladies from across the US to come join you and you can take them out on a hunting trip. I would absolutely support you and shout you out if you ever did that.
Yeah, that would be the plan. And again, that comes with like networking too, right? Getting in touch
Hmm.
with the right people that can work with me to put on those sort of clinics, if you will. And there again are a lot of outreach programs for women to do that.
Hmm.
Not so much for, I would say, our demographic, but that would be a place that I would love to get to. I mean, there is one video that I have on my YouTube, where it was like an all women's goose hunt, and I was able to like find two other ladies to join me. It's really hard. Like I tried reaching out to so many people and like nobody was interested, but I was able to get two and they joined me. And I mean, it wasn't a great hunt, but if I can do more things like that, where maybe outfitters reach out to me or I reach out to them and sort of get something going. But thank you. That's very encouraging to hear that you guys kind of see my vision, and it certainly encourages me to keep doing this and just to dig my heels a little bit deeper, I hope, and just keep the traction going. So,
Keep it up. Keep it up. Ku and I are always complaining that a lot of people like guns, but they're not into shooting sports, and
mhm,
so it's kind of oddly it's kind of a big jump. It's kind of a big jump from being somebody who was a gun owner to somebody who is actually being a skilled firearm user.
mhm,
It takes time. It
yeah,
takes time. A lot of people think guns more as like a talisman. You own it, and it enables you to have
yeah,
magical properties. But it's you of all people know that it takes a lot of practice, a lot of skill, and just a lot of time to actually really feel that you're anywhere halfway decent with your equipment.
yep. Now you both have kids. Do you guys have daughters at all that maybe you're getting into the sport also?
Ku does, not me, not yet. Still
Okay.
trying.
My
Okay.
daughter, she's only 4, but
Oh,
I will eventually have her. All my kids are is a requirement for them to know how to shoot, but I'm not gonna force them to do competition stuff. If they want to do it, I will encourage them to do it, but if they don't want to do it, I'm not gonna force them.
okay.
But I think the reason why, Sheila, you're not out there in the Hmong community like that is because you haven't wear Hmong clothes in your video yet.
I did see your video on that, and that's true. I think that might be true, but
Yeah, you
that's a
so
double-edged sword, right? That could go
yeah,
good or it could go bad.
yeah. You need to wear Hmong clothes and go hunting, and I guarantee you you'll be an overnight celebrity in
If
the
you
Hmong
do it
community.
if you do it first, then I might feel a little bit more inclined to do it. So,
I did. I was wearing I was wearing Hmong vest one time at a competition match, and I did horrible at that
mm-hmm,
match. And but then it grabbed it got a lot of attention in the Hmong community, and I noticed that the only time when it's Hmong related, that's
hmm,
the only time when our community really pay attention to. Other than that, is mainly Mika people that really watch like our videos because is what Mika people usually do compared to
hmm,
Hmong people. Like Hmong people do shoot, Hmong people do go hunting, but they're not pushing as hard as the Mika people.
hmm.
And and so it doesn't grab their attention when we focus more on the skills and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay. And I think again that goes back to like outreach, right?
Hmm.
And um yeah, that's interesting. Or just like resources too, right? So you have to
Yeah.
find like the right people and resources to be able to push that out to our community
Yeah.
to, learn about these sports that maybe we weren't exposed to as children and we kind of discovered them as adults.
Yeah. Agree. All right. So, in your opinion, why is it important for you to encourage more women to get outdoors or hunting?
I think a lot of young women and girls, and maybe, even women in their, midlife, probably are interested in these sports, but they don't have, again, the resources, or maybe again in the home culture, it's still like gender roles almost, right? Where women shouldn't be hunting, women shouldn't be doing this and that. It's not a feminine thing, right? I've been told that before, like, why aren't you acting like a woman? Why are you trying to act like a guy and be one of the boys? And it's just like, oh, okay, sorry, I didn't know that, these sports were limited to a certain sex. But I think it's important for me to be able to just show that you can do it, right? If there's something that you want to do, just do it. Like who is this outside person to tell you that you can't do something that you want to be passionate about or that you even just kind of want to dabble in and then maybe later you can decide it's not for you. I mean, we're in America, this is a free country, and we're so fortunate to have grown up here. You have the ability to do it. So forget the haters and just march to the beat of your own drum. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I could say that a lot more eloquently, but just the words are not coming to mind. But I don't know. Just if there's something you want to do, just do it. It could be anything. You know?
I agree. And I do try to encourage more women to get into like hunting or shooting, not just because it's fun, but it's more like a survival skill. Like
Hmm.
imagine if one day if your man is not there no more, you have to know how to use those type of weapons to defend yourself and your kids. Or if one day you ever have to like search out for food, you'll have those skill set to go out there on your own. So I do think it's important for more women to learn how to survive outdoors, go hunting or shooting, or just to protect themselves in general. And I think by hunting, I think that will give them the confidence to be able to be more independent when it comes to like defending themselves or hunting for food. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the big thing is like being self-sufficient, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Hmm.
Um, in case you just have to like completely rely on yourself, or there are others who have to rely on you,
Yes.
right? Build these skills. Um, so yeah, I think it's the way that my dad kind of raised us also is to be self-sufficient. And I think
Mm.
it's instilled in me at a very young age. And my dad, he was a teacher back in Laos. So he was like very strict and a lot of discipline in the household growing up. So I think that's probably how I came to be how I am today. And not everyone's going to have that, but I think in women also because especially in the monk community, like you just have to be so strong that like you
Mhm.
can do these things. You can be self-sufficient. So I think there's just somebody that has to sort of show them the way, and they can maybe look at somebody and be like, okay, well, she looks like me, and maybe that'll be a little bit more encouraging to start pulling out women and young girls to start branching out a little bit and dabbling in hobbies that might be of interest to them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think what you're doing is really good. I think it's really cool for people to, kind of get into things that are not really typically associated with like, the stereotypical man or stereotypical lady. Like I love sewing. I love making things. I have three sewing machines.
I'm
I do.
Yeah,
just kidding. I'm
Yeah,
I
just
have
kidding.
three sewing machines. Yeah.
awesome.
Uh,
Yeah.
when I say I like sewing, I like making equipment. Like I'll make vests and backpacks and stuff. Like last thing I sewed together was I made a backpack for a flamethrower because I have sewing machines. I can do
That's
that. Yeah. I
fun.
I enjoy cooking. I love cooking. So it's always good for people to get outside of their normal comfort zone.
Yep.
I was just kidding, Christian.
Hater, hater. It's okay. It's okay because I'm always making cool stuff.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, yeah, I think I'm the same like your dad too because I make sure that like my boys they know how to, clean up the house,
Hmm.
do the
Hmm.
dishes, cook, clean, help out
Hmm.
their mom. And I will be the same with my daughter when she gets older. She needs to know how to fight, know how to shoot a gun and protect herself. So I don't like my point of view, I don't really see like us like something has to be like gender role.
Hmm.
Like both genders should know how to do those stuff because in my opinion,
Yeah.
those are everyday life skills that you need to know whether you're a man or a woman. Yeah. So
I think
yes.
that's our generation now,
Yeah.
right? Where like we can think that way, where there's not gender roles and everyone kind of just help each other, right? Everyone pull your own weight sort of thing in the
Yeah.
house.
Hmm.
Whereas I think our parents' generations, it was very much still gender roles or yeah. And so I don't know. I'm not sure where I'm trying to go with that, but you guys understand what I'm
Yeah.
trying to. So
I get it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, last question from me. What has the response been like from your community since you started sharing your outdoor journey?
my community, well, I would say I probably should do a better job with being part of the Hmong community here in Colorado. We're actually fairly small. We probably have about 6,000 Hmong people here. I would say a lot of the men who were haters at first, they're like the first ones to like a video or comment on it now, um, which is interesting that that's now the response. But as far as like just in the hunting community period, um, eh, a lot of women have reached out, which is great because even for like Miga people, like the sport is growing for women. And so it's nice to see that although they're not of the same maybe race as far as demographics goes, there is still like a common ground, right? Where I can see eye to eye with them on and where their struggles are. Um, so that's been interesting. But as far as like getting out to the bigger, broader hunting industry or space in itself, again, I don't advertise myself very much, or I'm not nearly recording as many videos as I need to be. I would be very interested to see how much traction I gain maybe in the next year or so if I start posting on a consistent basis. So
The social media game is hard. The algorithm is extremely demanding.
yes.
It's a tough one to crack.
And you're in IT, so I don't know if you know like the tips and tricks on social media on what the algorithms are. I can't crack it, and I think ChatGPT is probably my best friend right now if I want to do more research on that. So, yeah.
ChatGPT is a good one. It's got to be catchy. It's got to be flashy. Number one is thumbnail, 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 thumbnail. You've got to catch them with that first little flash, and then once you kind of catch them with that, you've got to follow through on your promise. A lot of people they do clickbait, right? It's I'm
Yeah,
going to show you this cool thing. It's like it's not really a cool thing. It's something else, right? But if you say I'm going to show you this cool thing, and then you follow up on the cool thing, then they kind of think, oh, I'm going to follow you because if you are consistently putting out cool stuff, I want to consistently see your cool stuff. And so that's it's kind of hard to figure out, what do people want to see. And so like if I'm posting videos, kind of like the sillier stuff I do is going to get way more traction than this more serious stuff I do. So if I do like a 1 minute video on, like how to shoot a gun versus a 1 minute video of we're going to go use a flamethrower on a bunch of stuff, right? The flamethrower video is going to get way more views.
yes.
Yeah, that's just the nature of people. But you just have to be in the headspace of, um, who is my audience? What do they want to see? And, how do I catch their attention with a thumbnail and the first 2 seconds? You have 2 seconds of attention before they're gone.
Short attention span. So, yeah.
Extremely, extremely. We are in the short form content generation. You have 2 seconds to catch their attention. Otherwise, they just one swipe and they're off to something else. All right, Koo. Was that your last question?
Yep, that was my last one.
All right. Let me so I'm just stealing Koo's questions. Um, but okay, so Koo and I we're both really like noobs in this space. Okay. Um, Koo's done a little bit of hunting. I have really not done too much hunting myself. But I grew up on a farm, and so we were talking about having to kill animals before. Like the first animal I killed was my mom made me help her kill chickens,
Hmm.
and she gave me the most dull knife possible. And so she's holding the chicken, and I'm trying to slice into its neck with a dull knife, and it's staring at me the whole time. So I'm like a young kid. I'm like traumatized trying to like slice this chicken's neck with a dull knife. That's horrifying. But then, you do it a while, right? And so after doing it a while, it's like, okay, here's your food. I'm hungry, and then you just kind of get into that. Um, but kind of getting back into that of Q and I being noobs at this, what would you say is for somebody who's new to the space, what's some of the go-to gear that you absolutely recommend that people have when they're hunting or just outdoors in general?
That's a great one. I think starting with a knife, right? You want a
Hmm.
sharp, reliable knife, and I think outdoor
Hmm.
edge is always a good one because you can always replace the blades. You can either
Hmm.
toss them or you can resharpen them and reuse them
Hmm.
right after cleaning. So that's a really good one. And it again depends on what game you're going for, but I think a knife can apply to any game that you're pursuing. I think a good comfortable pack is very important too if you're going for big game. Something that's going to be fitted to you, especially for us as women. They are now coming out with more gear catered towards women's bodies, packs that fit better to our frames. Um, I think good shoes are important too, boots with good ankle support. And then of course like breaking that in before you actually hit the road or hit the pavement or hit the mountains, what have you. And then socks too, right? Moisture wicking socks are very important. Let's see. I think clothing is so important too. Layering systems, like for example, if we're pursuing elk or deer in the mountains, it's going to be cold in the mornings regardless, but you're going to be shedding your layers as you start hiking. So a layering system is very important. And again, water filtration system. Um, I think those would be probably my big ones. Yeah, just the basics.
Nice, nice.
What's
Yeah.
your, oh shit, I was gonna ask, what's your
Good,
favorite
good.
brand knife?
Brand of knife,
Yeah.
Outdoor Edge.
Oh, outdoor edge. Okay.
Those are the ones with like the replaceable blades, right?
Okay.
Yes. Yep, those are
Ah.
easy and you can find them anywhere and
Mhm.
they're sharp. So
Yeah, I'm not a knife person, so I just buy like the expensive knife like Benchmade and Spectacle just
I've
because of the price.
never heard of those brands before.
What?
What? What? Wait,
Benchmade?
wait, wait, what?
I've never heard of.
Benchmade? Oh wow.
Let me Google this.
Benchmade. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you have. You
Oh
probably just
no.
you
Maybe.
probably just
Have-
Oh
don't.
no,
Yeah.
Sheila.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. I've heard of.
Yeah, with the
Oh,
butterfly
Yeah.
Benchmade. And then
Those are great
Spectacle.
too.
Yeah.
Those are great
yes.
too. Those are like kind of like your everyday that you
Yeah.
just have on you. And
Yeah.
yeah, those are great in the field too. So, okay.
I'm kind of biased because I had a really nice Spyderco and then I lost it. And then my my brother and sister-in-laws, they bought me a Benchmade, but I'm like, okay, I'm still sad about losing my really nice Spyderco. So I have a nice Benchmade, I just don't ever carry it. And so I carry around my $30 the Ontario rat knives, the $30 ones. Those are the ones that I abuse those like crazy. I actually I went through a phase when I was making my own knives, and so I'd actually get get the bar stock, and I would actually do a stock removal technique. And so I'd forge my own knives. And so I have a big old Hmong knife that I made out of it's a D2 spring steel. So I got into knife making for a little bit, and I was making kitchen knives and things like that.
Oh, that's nice.
Um,
Wow.
yeah,
That's so Hmong of you. Wow. Yeah. That's sticking
I
to roots. Yeah.
I do a lot of stuff. Anytime I see something interesting, I try to pick it up. Um, Going along with that, let me see. So, you know, what do you have, especially when you're hunting, a lot of people put emphasis on, like their favorite bows or their favorite rifles. What is some of your favorite actual like hunting implements?
I don't think I've tried enough, right, to have like a
Hmm.
favorite brand, but as far as like what I run, I could answer
What
that.
do you like? Right? Because, there's everybody's gonna know, oh, there's that YouTube channel where that guy he tests out all of them and he has every single one and he has opinions of them.
Yes.
But what are the ones that you like?
So for me, because I do a lot of duck hunting too, I'm
Hmm.
fortunate to have a Benelli SBE3. And that's
Nice.
probably the best, um, semi-auto shotgun for bird
Hmm.
hunting right now. And that's subjective, right? But
Hmm.
for me, I think that's probably the best waterfowl or bird gun on the market right now.
Mm.
Um, so I guess that's mine. And I'm very, very partial to like as far as like clothing gear goes for hunting. I'm very brand loyal, so Sitka is my go-to, although I kind of want to explore Kuiu now since they have a women's brand.
Hmm.
Uh, but I strictly went with Sitka to begin with because they marketed to women to begin with, and then Kuiu was kind of, came out with it just probably in the last 2 years or so. And then as far as like archery equipment, I mean, I know like Eva Shockey, she makes like women's bows. I haven't exactly shot hers, but a lot of people like her brands. I hear Hoyt's really good for women also for a smaller frame, but I mean, I shoot a prime um, compound bow, so I don't know. I guess that's my go-to. And I like prime because if you're the original owner of that compound bow, they will replace your strings every 2 years for free. So
Wow.
you can't beat that. I mean, strings cost, two, three, 400, $500 to replace every 2, 3 years, depending on how frequently you're shooting. But prime's the way to go.
Speaking of bow, what is your pole weight?
52. Yeah,
God damn.
yeah,
Okay.
but 52 is okay.
I don't shoot bow, so my pole weight's only 40.
40. That's okay.
Got to work out, Koo.
Yeah. I
You
mean,
don't learn.
I
Yeah.
try 60 pound before. I mean, I could pole it, but it's
Mhm.
not something that I feel comfortable with. And to be fair, I don't shoot bow like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's why I was just gonna I'm just gonna stick with my 40 pound.
And every bow's different too, right? Depending on what the brand is and like how stretched out the strings are.
Okay.
And so like I used to shoot bare compound and I upgraded to prime. But I mean, like if I don't know if you guys are familiar with Hannah Barron, she's a Mika girl, very prevalent in the hunting space, and she's tiny. She's maybe like 5'2", but she's really built, and she shoots 70
Mm,
pounds.
Wow.
It's amazing. I'm like I'm
goddamn.
gonna be up to that
Wow.
caliber, so and I'm okay with that. So yeah.
That's pretty intense. I find the shotgun stuff really interesting because so I've been getting really deep into shotgun stuff, especially in this past year, but mostly from like the defensive tactical side. And so the it's really interesting because the stuff that we value in the more defensive tactical side is it needs to be extremely reliable. And so probably like the top shotguns in that space right now is going to be like the Beretta 1301. That is the top one that all of the higher level, more popular guys are using.
Mhm.
There's the Beretta A300. That one's also really good. Um, you don't really see as much as like the Mossbergs for like the 940 series or some guys use like the Benelli M4s, but not as much. But yeah, what do you look for in a shotgun, especially in the hunting sense? Because for like
Yeah.
me and the guys I shoot with, we'll do like 300 to 500 rounds of shotgun like in a weekend, and so
Mhm.
we needed to like just chug through like hundreds of shells. But when you're especially when you're hunting, I mean, you're not doing that many.
Unless you're dove hunting, right? Which I love, like upland bird hunting sometimes.
Mhm.
Or dove hunting is probably my favorite, and you're probably going through like 100 rounds, maybe
Oh
150 rounds
wow.
a day. Yeah. And so for me, I mean, because the Benelli SB3 doesn't have
Hmm.
a lot of recoil, it's great. And I mean, I
Hmm.
shoot 12 gauge. I think not a lot of women want to shoot 12 gauge, but
Hmm.
for me, I'm like I'm 5'4", so I'm
Hmm.
a bit bigger build than most young women.
Hmm.
And so that's kind of, I don't know, maybe 12 gauge, I guess is what I always look for.
Hmm.
I mean, before I had my gun, my brother-in-law Billy, he has a Mossberg, I think it was like an M3500,
Hmm.
and that thing is heavy and the recoil on that is terrible. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
very spoiled now with my gun. And I think it's I can't remember what specs it has, but yeah, I don't know. Just yeah, something that cycles. Oh, and I guess what was important to me too was, something that was going to shoot 3 inch and 3.5 inch,
Yep.
because when you're going for geese, you're going to want those bigger loads, and so you're loading like the 3.5 shells. So,
Gotcha. No, no, that makes total sense. If you get the chance, go check out like my Facebook page for Instructor King, and you can
mhm.
see some of my shotgun shooting videos. And so I'll try to shoot a shotgun as fast as I can. So like 14 to 16 second splits. So just like a rapid fire of like 6 to 7 shots, and then there's there's a lot of really cool techniques you can use to just completely eliminate 12 gauge recoil.
I think I did see one of your videos, and the way that you reload so quickly, I'm like, I don't
Mm-hmm.
know if we could use that in the field. That'd be great if we could reload like that, especially during geese
Mm-hmm.
season. Yeah, no, that's kind of intimidating how quickly you can load and reload. So,
Is
Oh, well,
is
thanks.
that a law where you can't have side saddles and stuff?
yeah, and well, I guess it depends on what state you're in, but in Colorado too, like you can only load up to 3 shells at a time,
Mm-hmm.
unless it's like during like snow geese season, which is
Mm-hmm.
an extended season because they're so abundant, and it's like an unlimited harvest amount. And
Mm-hmm.
they allow you to like remove the plugs, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know how many rounds my shotgun can hold. Um, or like you can put like extensions in there and everything. And I've never experienced it since we don't really go out for geese. You kind of see the
Mm-hmm.
outfitters using those more often. So
Okay.
No, no, that's pretty cool. Yeah, yeah. There's so many different facets. Like I said, from like the shotgun side, I know the tactical defensive side, and so when people talk about the hunting side,
mhm.
like most of those hunting models, I'm not even familiar with them at all. Even I'm familiar with the brand, but not even the hunting models because yeah, it's so funny how it's kind of like two sides of the same coin. And the things that are important to my side is it seems different, but at the same time, I don't know why it's different. So it's interesting.
Yeah.
Sheila, so I guess so we're coming up on like close to 2 hours. So I want to ask you kind of just like one last question. Um, what would you share with us? What's one of your favorite stories from some of the hunts you've been on, people you've met, or things you've experienced? You've already said that you haven't seen anything scary, which is nice.
Yeah.
But what's one of your favorite memories that you made?
Um, I think hunting is a lot about building camaraderie, right? And just
Hmm.
with the right people who um, aren't going to make you hate. I think especially for women, right? They're not going to make
Hmm.
you hate going out there and braving the weather and everything. Um, but I would say I have a couple of different stories, I guess, or hunting experiences that I really enjoy. But I think the one that I hold nearest and dear to me is my first waterfowl hunt ever. And that, of course, was with my brother-in-law and my sister. And because I was like so against like waterfowl to begin with, and
Why?
because avian flu, right?
Oh,
And
oh,
bird flu and everything. And they had just gotten their chocolate lab. Her name's Moose, and
mm-hmm.
it's her birthday today. So happy birthday, Moose,
Oh.
year-old pup now. But and so that was me and Moose's first hunt together. And Billy's type A personality, and so if he doesn't have
Hmm.
for you, he doesn't have patience for you. But it's just he made sure that I had a good experience, right?
Hmm.
I was going to enjoy it, and that I understood, hey, you have to pull your own weight, and it's not
Mm.
come out here and it's all fun and games for you.
Hmm.
We're going to have fun, but here's the lay of the land of how this goes. And I shot my first duck that day, and kind of learned how hard duck hunting actually is, like just carrying all of the decoys out there.
Hmm. Hmm.
Learn how to set up the decoys correctly in the water, learning to read, the wind and how the ducks are gonna land into your spread. Um, but yeah, I think it's just I had a really good experience, and I think that kind of set the tone for the rest of, you know, my time in the waterfowl space, and kind of something that I would love to be able to pass down to, other novice hunters or waterfowlers. And it's something that's stuck with me. So yeah.
That's so cool. And I think you really have a great point there that, especially people who are getting new into the space that, that first impression, that really kind of shapes their experience going forward. And a lot of times people are very critical of new people. And, if you're with somebody who's really willing to really kind of like train you up and nurture you,
Yeah.
it's going to make them feel that, they want to do this again and again. And especially if you're talking about next generation hunters or next generation shooters, yeah, we need more people like that, more people who are willing to, show you the
Yeah.
ropes, be patient with all the new people. I
Yeah.
think that's amazing. It's a
Yeah.
wonderful story.
Yep. And with that too, I mean, like with that trip, I learned, how dogs work, right? How much training he put into, making sure that his dog was disciplined.
Hmm.
Not only are you making sure your animal's disciplined, like you're disciplined as well, like getting them up to that caliber. And I mean, I want a dog eventually and for bird hunting. But yeah, no, I would hope that everyone could have a good first experience like how I did. That would push them to continue to do the things that they love.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. Oh, actually, I got one more last question. This
Oh,
question is for Ku. Well, okay. Well, this question is from me for you, before Ku. Would you ever get into competition shooting?
me, you're asking me?
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
would. After kind of watching your guys' videos and everything,
Hmm.
it's like I see that outreach that you're trying to do, and trying to really introduce it to the Hmong community. Um, but it's like, where do I start, right? Are there clubs or anything for me to even reach out to and learn in Colorado? Or do you guys have anything that you're doing that I could travel for to learn? But I mean, I'm always all about learning, and I'm scared that it's going to be another expensive hobby that I'm going to have to learn how to afford. Uh, but yeah, in short, I would love to learn how to competition shoot.
It it is as expensive as you want it to be. That's the realistic answer, right? What kind of pistol do you conceal carry?
I have an H&K VP9 SK, so it's like a really small concealed carry.
Ah, okay. I'm kind of mean. I kind of make fun of VPN9 owners. It's just
Oh, that,
it's kind of a dumb inside joke for the gun community things. No, but the VP9s are great. HK makes great guns. It's more so the owners, not you. More so the people who really want the HK name, but they're not really willing to put in the time or the effort into it. Anyway,
that's
so
probably, uh-oh.
no. If you're carrying it, you're miles ahead of most other H&K owners. You really are. Um, it is as expensive as you want it to be. Okay. So if you've already got a pistol and you've already got like three magazines and you already have a holster, you're set.
Hmm.
You are pretty much all set. The only thing that you really need to do is to learn the meta, right? So with any game out there, whether it's Call of Duty, whether it's chess, there is a meta, right? There's a particular way that you do it. That's the sport has been optimized. And once you kind of learn the optimized way of playing that sport, then you're going to progress very, very quickly. And I think that's one of the things that I learned getting into this is that I wanted to learn all the cool tactical stuff like the SWAT team stuff, but then um, that's different than actual like higher performance shooting. And so if you get into the competition shooting space, actually let me ask you. So I know that especially in Colorado, Colorado does have a pretty good sized shooting scene. One of the bigger of one of the bigger shooting ranges is the Cameo Shooting Center. I know that's where they host a lot of the larger competitions there, and there's a ton of big name people who are going there. And I think from Denver, like if I look it up, I think from Denver that might be maybe like an hour, Let me check. Let me check Google Maps really quick. Denver, Colorado to the Cameo Shooting Center. Oh, never mind. I'm sorry. It's about 4 hours.
Oh yeah, it's like on
It's
the other side of the state,
yeah. It's like on the other side of the state. Yeah.
Palace.
Yep. Over in Palisade.
Mhm.
Yeah. So there's the site's called Practice Score. Practice Score. So that's where you can check all the events around your area. So I know, especially if you're in a major city area, there is definitely going to be a couple different clubs in that area, and you can just kind of just kind of check the rules. What show up early. I recommend showing at least like 45 minutes early, so you
Oh,
can kind
wow.
of talk to people and just kind of get a lay of the land and kind of figure out what are the do's and the don'ts. There's a lot of safety rules, and so you just kind of have to figure out the safety stuff. But if you're new and you're just honest, just be like, hey, this is my first time. Just kind of show me the ropes. A lot of people, like I said, they're very friendly. They really want you to enjoy the sport. And then you've got our Facebook group where we're all pretty active in, and you could come in there, ask questions. We've got a couple guys in there who they're new to the sport, and they've just been posting like a ton of videos in the training and just getting a lot of feedback from some pretty high level guys in that group. And so, yeah, yeah. We would absolutely love for you to join a little Facebook group if you're not in there already. Even for our viewers, you guys are absolutely welcome to join. That's our Mountain Tribe Development Hmong Training Group on Facebook. Like I said, even though it says Hmong, it's open to everybody. But yes, and like I said, it's as expensive as you make it. The setup that you have, that is perfectly fine to start with. And there have been some people who have gone up to like the Grandmaster level
Mhm.
with smaller concealed carry type guns like that. It's just how much time you want to put into it. That's really what it comes down to.
Okay. Is that how you both got started in the sport? Kind of just like went and joined a club, kind of inquired.
So
I got started because Koo just kept on bugging me to do it, and then I'm like, okay, fine, I'll do it, Koo.
Oh wow. Okay.
yeah, it's pretty much you just go on practice score. I'll send you
Hmm.
the link. You do have to create an account and everything. It's free. And then when you create an account, you can see all the local match in your state, and
Hmm.
then you just sign up for one. Well, if you have like any question about like what division, blah blah blah, stuff like that, you could just ask me. And then when you sign up the match, you just show up, you tell them that you're brand new, and then they'll show you the rope. And I always tell people that no matter how much training you do, you will never be ready for a competition match because you just don't know the game. You don't know what you
Hmm.
don't know. So you just have to show up. And at once, maybe after your first or second match, you will understand the rules. And once you understand the rules, you understand the division stuff, it'll be easy after that. And
Hmm.
after that, it's all you honing your own skills and show up pretty much. It's very easy, very simple. It's not expensive in my opinion. You save more money shooting competition than going to the range.
Yeah.
Because a match fee is like 15 to $20 and then you shoot like 100 to 120 rounds per match.
Okay.
Um, so I think the match is pretty affordable, but like Christian
Hmm.
said, it's only as expensive as you want it to be. Like you don't have to go every week. You don't have to go every month. You could go like once a month, once every 6 months. But the first step is to just show up and get your feet wet. That's the most important part. You will never be ready, so you cannot use that excuse where I'm not ready yet or I'm still training. You will never be ready because I've been playing guns. I realized that I've been playing guns from the age 21 to 28 because I started competition when I was 28, and I realized that all those skills that I was doing at the range was thrown out the window as soon as I stepped into my first match, and I had to relearn everything all over again. And I always tell people if my 9-year-old son could do it, anyone could do it. Yeah,
Well, I guess my question is why did you both join the competition scene?
it's
And what
cool.
do you yeah, and what do you get out of it? Yeah.
Um, First reason because it's fun, it's cool. Second reason, what did I learn from it? I learned that um, it's very hard to shoot, and like learning how to shoot is harder than. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. It just made me realize that it takes a lot of skills to be good at shooting. Uh, Like for example, if I was 21 and I was to get into a gunfight, I would have not been ready for it. But then like you just learn the science of shooting once you step into the competition world.
Mhm.
There's more than just pulling the trigger. There's more than just getting shooting bullseye. There's more to, just pulling the trigger slowly and stuff like that. So that's why I highly recommend competition to everyone because it will take your skills to the next level. And when you do competition, you will realize how hard it is to shoot under pressure. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of people that carry gun, right? But they never done any competition shooting or just any harsh training, and they think that they'll be ready to defend themselves on the street. So competition give you a reality check on your skills, pretty much, of
Okay.
how good you are. And
Mhm.
the reason why a lot of people don't compete is because they don't want to know how bad they are, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And just kind of going off on that, the reason why we kind of push competition so much, and if you talk to higher level shooters, like Ku and I, we interviewed a guy, and he's formal special forces, right? He's a grandmaster level shooting in USPSA, and even as somebody who is actual military special forces, he'll tell you that the lessons that he learns from competition shooting, it's extremely applicable to the stuff that he still teaches today, and he'll be teaching, he'll be teaching to law enforcement, to military personnel, how to clear rooms. And he'll say, yeah, the lessons that he's learned in USPSA, those are still lessons that he uses when he's teaching people how to engage targets in a more tactical kind of environment. So, but yeah, so why is competition shooting so good? It's because it comes down to the meta. The meta being that in order to get really good at competition shooting, you have to have an excellent grasp of the fundamentals, right? And so if you want to have an excellent grasp of the fundamentals, you do competition shooting, and that's where you learn those fundamentals.
Okay. And what do you get out of it? You know, from competition shooting? Like why, what is your why behind competition shooting?
It's fun.
Okay.
It's a it's a
Okay.
good way to hang out with your friends and have fun.
And is that why you would recommend it to other people? It's just, building camaraderie and just a good time to.
Yeah,
Uh,
and oh, go ahead, Ku.
oh, I was gonna say, well, it's for me, I think it will prepare you for the real world, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Because um a lot of people always say, "Oh, I have my gun's reliable," but you never actually test it
Mm-hmm.
when you're under pressure, and you will find out that your gun is not as reliable as you think it is. So, I think that when you do competition, it will. I'm not gonna say that you will survive in every gunfight or you will survive your gunfight, but it will give you the confidence in defending yourself if you ever had to, because in competition, you learn how to think faster, see faster, and just do things faster compared to someone who never do competition. So I think competition will help you be better if you have to defend yourself in real life.
No, that's fair.
Yeah,
And I think if you're a gun owner, right, you should probably have those basic skills.
yeah.
So no, so that's good to know.
Absolutely.
Okay. I don't have any other questions. No.
One last question though, I do have for you.
Okay.
Um, as a female and as a hunter, how often do you train for self-defense?
Personally, I don't have any training in self-defense at all. You know, and I think it kind of comes down to, and I can't speak for everybody, right? I can
Yeah.
only speak for myself. And I think it comes down to what Christian said earlier. Not so much like, oh, it's never going to happen to me. It can't happen to me. Um, Maybe it's just where do I find the time for it, right? Um, what's going to be my drive for it? And I think to your guys' point, it's better to be proactive and prepared. rather than like be in that situation and be reactive at that point. Um, so yeah, I mean, I probably should get some training, but no, I don't. I don't have any self-defense training.
7 outlets on.
Yeah, so if you don't, and if you ever want to get like some extra training, I would say just jump into competition. And it just doesn't have to be USPSA. It could be like three guns. Three guns base. I think you will like three gun more since you shoot shotguns. Three guns, it deals with a shotgun, rifle, and a pistol.
Mhm.
But if you just want to focus specifically on pistol, USPSA will be the way to go. I do recommend you jumping to competition right away. I wouldn't, me personally, I would not recommend you taking like self-defense class because all of that you could learn in a competition match. Um,
Mm.
yeah,
Depends. Depends on whose
explain.
self-defense class it is.
Oh,
Yes, it depends on who it is, but the fundamental of just shooting, you could learn all of that in competition.
so find a good instructor, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Do my research, do my due diligence in researching who the good instructors are.
Yeah, you can post in our Facebook group, and we'll give you a huge list of instructors we recommend.
Okay, no, that's great. And I will do my best to try to keep in touch with you both and be active in your Facebook group and hopefully update you guys on where I'm at in my journey with competition shooting. No, it sounds exciting. It sounds promising. I mean, I don't know if you guys know of any Hmong women who are in that competition shooting scene that maybe I could reach out to.
We know one, but I don't think she's active anymore.
Yeah,
No.
I don't want to. Yeah, she she hasn't been active since 2019. She was doing competitions stuff like that, but I tried to reach out to her. Never heard, never got a reply, but she hasn't been active since 2019.
Okay.
But I think when it comes to like just shooting in general, I don't think gender matters.
No.
Um, because at the end of the day, the gun doesn't discriminate. The gun is still going to recoil whether you're a male or female. And at the end of the day, we all shoot the same stage. We all do the same thing. So I get it. That maybe you'll feel more comfortable talking to a female about it, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of females out there that could easily kick our asses in the sport too. So
Absolutely.
I feel like just learning how to shoot, um, just reach out to anyone that you think that could help you, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay. That's
Oh,
great.
one recommendation you absolutely should do is there's a Facebook group called the Filster Concealment Workshop. That's PHLSTER. Are you familiar with Filster holsters?
I've heard of them. Yeah. But I mean, I think the big ones you hear about are what are those? Like the hunting brand ones. I don't remember. Yeah. But Filster holster. Okay.
Yeah, Filster holsters. A lot of people make holsters. Very few people understand holsters. Filster holsters, they're in my opinion one of the top brands because they really stress test their holsters. And when I say stress test, like they actually will do combat sports with their holsters to really make sure that if I'm pinned down on the ground, can I draw this gun? And so their holsters are set up very very well because they stress test it. Um, you're gonna see companies who advertise a lot like We the People holsters. We the People holsters is kind of a very mediocre type of holster. It works okay,
Okay.
but there's a lot of design elements where you can tell that it fits the gun and you can draw the gun, but that's kind of it, right? Where a filster holster is, it fits the gun and the holster is designed in a manner that if it is a life or death situation, it is anchored very well. And there's a lot of different things that they do to really make sure that it's a well developed holster. But yeah, check out that group, Filster Concealment Workshop. And the cool part is that I would say probably 50-60% of the people posting in there are ladies. And so it's an amazing group, especially if you're a lady.
Okay. That's great. And do you both at all hold any clinics to teach like the Hmong community specifically and try to get, more of the community involved?
I've got a class coming up in October. So I teach like a concealed carry class and I teach like intro pistol classes. So I I still teach.
Okay.
Me personally, I don't, but I try to like that's why I do these podcasts, for like for the community to listen to, but at the end of the day, nobody listened to it. And I try to always encourage people to come join the group, but it is not grabbing the Hmong community attention.
Okay.
So I kind of gave up on it.
Okay.
I mean, I still do my best to encourage like the Hmong community to come out and train more, but like to give out classes, no, I don't do that just because I don't think I'm good enough to teach because I don't know enough. Even though I think I am a decent shooter, but I don't think I'm a good teacher. So that's why I don't do it. So I just encourage people to come out and do it themselves. Because a lot of the stuff that I do is I just learn it, from by myself. And if I could do it, then anyone could do it also.
Yeah.
But speaking of holster and stuff, how do you carry your gun?
I don't remember what holster I have, but it's a thumb release. I mean, I don't carry it on me every day, like as a concealer.
Mm,
I only ever carry it in the field. And
mhm.
I just like have it on my belt,
Okay.
on my hip. So,
So do you only for hunting, do you carry only 9 millimeter or do you carry
yeah,
okay.
only 9 mil because I mean we don't have grizzly bears here. So like I don't need anything bigger than that. I don't think like a 45 or 40 might be okay if maybe I don't know. Those are
No,
kind of calibers, right?
9 millimeters the best.
Yeah.
You're good.
They're big calibers. I mean, like we have black bears here and we have mountain lions. Maybe I might need something bigger eventually, but right now, just because my hands are smaller, it fits pretty comfortably in my hands, and so that's what I go with for now. Just a 9 mil.
Okay.
No, that's perfect.
Okay.
Can a nine take down a mountain lion though?
Yeah,
Shot
I've seen it.
placement.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
shot placement. I've seen it. There are a lot of videos on YouTube of hunters being stalked by mountain lions, and then they have to put them down, unfortunately. So
Okay.
I think 9 mils are okay.
All right. I think Christian, you got any more question?
No. I think I'm pretty much all set.
All right, so that is all the question that we have. So Sheila, for those who doesn't know you, where could they find you?
On all social media platforms. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I think there's like this thing called Thread now, but it's
Hmm.
all really just Sheila Vue Outdoors
Okay.
and
Uh,
YouTube. So, yeah.
all right. I will put all those information in the description.
Okay.
Well,
Perfect.
we thank thank you for joining us tonight and just talking with us. Appreciate it.
Of course, no, thank you guys for having me on here. It was a pleasure, and hopefully I can keep in touch with you guys and don't be strangers. Don't be shy. I'll try not to be shy and keep in touch. So, thank you.
All right, you guys have a good night. I'm gonna stop recording right now.